So I'm basically the worst person. Because I promised you guys this video so long ago, but I'm finally bringing you guys the swatches of my Colourpop lipsticks. So I have 13 lip products to swatch for you today. We'll see how my lips cooperate because they haven't been the best recently, but I'm really trying to get them back into better shape. If you hear some yowling in the background, Calcifer is in major heat right now. She's not having a very fun time about it. I mean, lady time is never a fun time, but she's just not coping well. So since this video is going to be decently long, let's get right into it. The first color I will swatch is Fancy. So this is Fancy. It's described as a bright coral, which it is. It looks a lot more toned down and pale in the tube, but on your lips it's quite bright. And this isn't on the orange side of corals, it's more on the peachy pink side, so it'd definitely be wearable for like cool or warm skin tones. It's a satin finish, and I actually really like their satin finish. It's a little bit more matte than I was expecting, which I enjoy, but it doesn't dry out my lips at all, which is nice. Here it is up close. My apologies if my application isn't the best, but I'm just going real quickly. And corals make your teeth look pretty dang white, which I quite enjoy. So yeah, this is Fancy. This is Fancy. The next color is Westie. It's kind of a cool toned mauvey pink. So this is Westie. It's a matte finish, and it's actually really creamy to apply. It doesn't tug and pull on your lips like some matte formulas do. I was originally expecting this to be more of a Your Lips But Better type shade, but I am very warm toned, so on me this kind of looks like a cooler toned down bubblegum pink. I do really like this color, but I definitely like it more when I have more of a cool based makeup look on. Right now I have a lot of browns, warm browns on my eyes, so it doesn't flatter this color as well as it could, but overall I really like Westie. So here's your close-up of Westie. I can imagine on some darker skin tones this could turn out a little bit ashy, so I definitely think it's best suited to really light. I feel like it would look really amazing on very, very pale skin tones. So yeah, there's Westie. This is Westie. And here's your swatch. This color is called Lumiere, and it's a dark mauve. It's the color that Kathleen Lights here on YouTube designed with Colourpop. I think she designed this kind of inspired by the Kylie Jenner lip craze going around. I don't really see the appeal there, but I love, love, love this color. It's perfect for those days where you don't want a crazy bold lip, but you don't want a nude or anything too light. I find that this dark nude mauve color that's going around is really, really flattering on almost everyone. And here's your close-up of Lumiere. I forgot to mention that it's a matte finish. Right now it's not looking quite as matte as it normally would because I'm using coconut oil in between these swatches. But yeah, the mattes are quite matte normally and not drying. Lumiere is definitely in my top choices for an everyday lip color. This is Lumiere. This color is called Chichi, and it's a bright, bright orange. It does have a little bit of coral in there, so it's not like your standard primary type orange, so that keeps it being a little bit more wearable and less out there, I guess. Chichi is basically summertime in lipstick form, so if you love summer and you love your bright fun colors, this is definitely one to add to your collection. So here's your close-up of Chichi, and this is a matte formula. This is Chichi. This next color is called Cleek, and it's a warm red. It's definitely an orange-based red. Very, very, very bright. I wouldn't say this is one of those office-y type reds. This next color is called Cleek, and it's a really, really warm red. It's almost an orange. It may look a little bit more toned down on camera, but in person it is definitely bright. I'm a huge fan of orange-based reds since I'm so yellow-toned. Blue tones tend to look a little bit strange on me. So this one is perfect for really warm skin tones. So here's your close-up of Cleek. It's another matte formula. I actually got mostly matte formulas because I prefer that over a glossy. This color is definitely in my top red lip colors at the moment. And you can see my application is starting to get a little bit messy. My apologies, it's probably only going to get worse from here. This one's Cleek. This next color is one of my absolute favorites, which is really strange for me because I don't tend to lean towards bright pinks. This one is actually more of a watermelon-y pink, and it's called Julep. And it's definitely a bright watermelon pink with a little bit of red to it, basically. So it's like a brightened watermelon red. And it's a cream finish. It's the glossiest one I have, and I'm really surprised that this turned out to be one of my favorites because I don't tend to lean towards pinks or glossy finishes. This leaves a wicked stain on your lips, so if you don't like getting your lips stained by lipsticks, maybe this one isn't for you. But I wore this for probably less than 20 minutes, and then we went out to Subway and I was like, well, I can't wear lipstick while eating a sub, that just doesn't work. So I took it off and Chris was like, I thought you were still wearing your lipstick, because it looked exactly the same basically without the glossy finish. The stain didn't last too long because I only was wearing the lipstick for 20 minutes prior to that, but it left the stain and it looked awesome. So I really quite enjoy that, and here's your close-up. So this is Julep, and their cream finishes actually are a little bit more forgiving on the lips if you have any imperfections or dryness, and I quite enjoy. Julep is definitely in my top choices for summer lipstick right now. I just wanted to show you guys the stain that was left on my lips from Julep. You can see that it's still really bright and it looks like I'm wearing lipstick, but I'm not. And this is after taking it off with coconut oil, so it's definitely got some staying power. This one's Julep. This color is your classic blue tone red. It's called Bossy, and the name is so appropriate because I, for one, feel really powerful and, you know, in charge when I have some good red lips on, and so the name Bossy is super appropriate. I think a good blue red is something that everyone who wears makeup needs in their kit, or in their collection, in their stash, whatever you want to call it. Everyone needs at least one blue toned red, and this is a fan-freaking-tastic one. So here's your close-up of Bossy. It's a matte finish, and even though my lips have been through 6 swatches already, it's actually being really forgiving and not showing a lot of the dryness that's going on. Some of the matte finishes, especially the lighter ones, aren't quite as forgiving as this, but this looks really nice no matter what condition your lips are in. This is Bossy. This color is called Bichette, and it's a dark neutral red. I don't think it has too much blue base in it at all, but it's definitely not a brick red, so it's not an orange based at all. It's closer to being blue based than orange based, but it's still very, very neutral. It's basically like my hair color, just a little bit brighter and lighter. And here's your close-up of Bichette. This is a matte finish as well, and I love reds that are matte finishes, especially when they're a nice matte finish. This one's a little bit less forgiving on the lips than Bossy is, just because if you do have any dryness like I do in the middle right now, it can catch on that and just build up and have a deeper tone, basically, so it kind of, like, not really accentuates, but it makes your dry bits a little bit more noticeable. But other than that, this color is definitely in my top 5 to 10 lip colors for all year round, and I would definitely wear this literally at any time of the year. Bichette is definitely a dark, sweet cherry color. This is Bichette. This next color is super similar to Bichette. It's called Ellery, and I knew they were really similar when I purchased them. I wanted to buy them both to kind of compare. And Ellery is a little bit more toned down, a little bit more muted, not quite as red, so it's got a little bit more brown in it, and it's ever so slightly darker, and I find it's a little tiny bit more matte as well. And these differences are really nuanced, so it's not a very huge difference, but I think I'm going to do a side-by-side swatch for you on my mouth. But this is just Ellery by itself. And here's your close-up of Ellery. It's also a matte finish. And like I said, it's a little bit more toned down, a little bit less red than Bichette. So here's your side-by-side swatch of Bichette and Ellery. And as you can see, the difference is really subtle. Bichette's just a little bit more red and Ellery is more toned down. But I think that if you like one, you're going to like the other. But do I think you need both in your kit? Probably not. I'm not upset about having them both though, because this kind of shade is one of my favorites. I think that Ellery is basically like if you added red and really deepened up Lumiere, so it's a little bit more neutral and less red, whereas Bichette is more like a deep Bossy shade, kind of. You can see the difference is quite subtle. This is Ellery. Alright guys, we're almost there. This is the fourth to last shade. We're over halfway done. And this shade is called Creature. This has got to be one of the most popular shades on their website. And I absolutely love this color with this hair color because it's basically the same color. It's basically a darker version of Ellery, not very red like Bichette. It's kind of on the cooler, purplier side of dark reds, and I love it a lot. Alright, so that got interrupted by a call from Chris and me getting some Dr. Pepper, which is probably not a good idea doing a lip swatch video. So I don't really remember where I was, but in all, Creature is a fantastic color and you should definitely get it because it's probably making my list of favorite lipsticks, even though I feel like I'm saying that about every lipstick in this video. So here's your close-up of Creature, and here's a close-up of me drinking Dr. Pepper. Oh, and Creature is a matte finish as well. This one's Creature. And here we have the darkest color of the bunch. This one is called Feminist. This color is basically a blackened purple. So if you want to wear a really dark lip color but not a complete black, this would be a really great choice for you. Or if you love your black lipsticks but want to add something different, something a little bit more interesting than flat black, this would be great. This one's also a matte formula, but I find it a little bit less matte than some of the other ones. It's still definitely more matte than their cream and satin finishes. Unfortunately, you can really see how sloppy my application has gotten with this lip color since it is so dark. I really love this color. It's really nuanced and it's definitely really interesting. And if you're like me and you're not one to shy away from bold colors, this is definitely one you should pick up. I feel like this isn't a color that a lot of companies actually make. Here's Feminist. Second last color is called Leather, and it's a purple. It's like a grape soda purple. It's not a bright and in-your-face color, so it's definitely still wearable for someone who doesn't love the crazy neon colors. And this color looks absolutely stunning on dark skin tones. It looks gorgeous. I actually find that this color looks the best on super crazy light skin tones and super crazy dark skin tones. I mean, obviously it looks great on the in-between shades as well, like me, but I really love the way that it looks on really light and really dark skin. And this color is definitely on the warmer side of purples. It's not too blue toned. And here's a close-up of Leather. This one does that same sort of thing where if it catches on a dry patch, it will get real dark, so it does kind of make those dry patches a little bit noticeable, but I'm fine with it for the most part. When my lips are in everyday condition and not 11, 12 swatches in, it looks fine, but yeah, right now it's not looking as good as it could. But again, it's a really fun color and a little bit more wearable than a pale lilac or a bright purple. Here's Leather. And last but not least is probably the weirdest shade of the bunch. This one is called Wet and it's in their pearlized finish. It's the only pearlized one that I got. And it's such a unique color. It's really strange. It's kind of like a, pewter shade? I think pewter is a good word for this. You know how Smackers used to have that one, it was a mocha flavor, and I think it was just called like Metal Mocha or something, and it kind of looked like this, only much less pigmented. This is exactly what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the 90s through and through. Oh, and my battery is dying. I have to speed this up a little bit, so here comes the close-up. So here's your close-up of Wet. It's the pearlized finish. This one went on really, really nicely. It just smoothed right on. It's a little bit less pigmented than some, so it did take a few passes. But overall, this is such a unique shade, and I'm really glad I have it in my kit. It would be great for adding like an ombre effect to the center of your lips on another color. And that is it for the swatches. This one's Wet. So here's all the arm swatches again. We have Fancy, Westie, Lumiere, Chichi, Cleek, Julep, Bossy, Bichette, Ellery, Creature, Feminist, Leather, Wet, and Wisp is there. It's hard to see on my light scan right here. Okay, so onto the review portion real quick because my battery is very much dying. If it dies halfway through, I'll just refilm this review bit. Overall, packaging gets a 10 out of freaking 10. So aside from being just cute, the packaging is super functional as well. There's the color swatch on the bottom of the lipstick itself instead of on the cap, which is nice because if you lose your cap or you mix up your caps, it's not going to confuse you as to what color is in the tube. And then on the applicator portion of it, this plastic bit is the same color as the lipstick, which is just a nice detail. And they're a lot smaller than a regular lipstick, like the width of the stick itself, which makes it crazy easy to apply. If I was doing this with regular size lipsticks, it would have taken me so much longer. Yeah, the close real tight, which is nice. You're not going to lose the caps in your bag or anything like that. And the Colourpop logo is holographic, which I find very pretty. And as for the product itself, it is amazing. So worth the $5. I mean, in Canada, you convert that and it makes it like 6 something, but still, that's cheaper than almost all drugstore lipsticks here. And much superior quality. I honestly haven't found a drugstore lipstick that I like quite as much as these ones. The mattes are super creamy to apply and easy. They don't tug at your lips at all, and they don't dry out your lips as much as some other matte formulas do. I have one from Inglot, which is absolutely atrocious formula-wise. I love, love, love Inglot, and I love the color itself. It looks gorgeous when it's on, but it's crazy drying, and your lips have to be in pristine condition for it to actually look decent. So this matte formula beats Inglot by far. So good job Colourpop on your matte formula. Even if it doesn't look the most matte, at least it's not going to dry out your lips and look terrible if they already are a little bit dry. If you want them to be more matte, just pat a little bit of powder on top. You'll be all set. And the color range that they have is crazy. I love the brighter colors like Grind and Leather, and there's a mint green one and a blue one. I love that they're permanent shades and they're not just limited time, limited edition type things like they would be in most companies. That is always a win to have those crazy colors available all year round. I actually really enjoy their marketing, like their photo sets that they do, their lookbooks, and the collections that they come out, like how well thought out and put together they are. And I really like that they've been collaborating with YouTubers. They're collaborating with the people that they know are going to be using them and able to get the word out about their products really well to their specific target audience. So they're using that marketing strategy really, really well, whereas some companies don't do it quite right. Overall, these are just fantastic lipsticks. Oh, and sometimes they have promotions on where you get a little free product with your purchase over a certain dollar amount. When I bought mine, they were just coming out with their highlighters, like they were just not pre-releasing but promoing them. And you could pick one of 3 or 4 different colors to come free with your order. So I picked Wisp, which is what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. I put it on really strongly just so you could really see it well. So that is Wisp. It's kind of a dusty rose gold, I'm gonna say. It's more on the gold side of things, but it does have that slight dusty color to it. And I'll do a swatch of Wisp as well. Here it is in the pan. You can see that from some angles it's very, very gold. Some angles you can see more of the pink. This is the only powder product I've ever tried from them, or powder. It's more like a creamy consistency. And you'd think that applying a cream over your foundation and powder would just be a complete mess and not work at all, but this blends out so beautifully. It works better on your fingers than it does on a brush. Or if you are going to use a brush, use a pretty dense one like a foundation brush. Or you can try using a makeup sponge, which I haven't tried yet, but my fingers work really well, so I'm sticking with that. I definitely want to pick up more of their powder products because this is amazing. So overall verdict on the lipsticks, 10 out of 10, would purchase again, definitely will be purchasing again. And overall on the powder product that I tried, the highlighter, 10 out of 10, definitely want the full size because it's just a mini. Even though this mini will probably last me a really long time, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous color, and I can see me using this all summer long because it kind of looks like I've been at the beach all day. So thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this whole ordeal, you guys, because I know it's a long video, and my apologies. I also want to let you guys know that I'm being much more active on Etsy than I have been in the past. Because I have more free time on my hands, so I'm making a ton of new stuff. I'm posting a bunch of listings, so check it out. I'll put the link in the down bar. My shop is called Earl Grey Afternoon because I'm always drinking tea when I'm crafting. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at KaiTheKiwi, and my Tumblr is KaiTheKiwiLoves. And please like and subscribe if you like this video because it really does help me out. I do put a lot of work into these things, and I really hope you enjoy them. So stay tuned till my next video, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!